Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. I'm sorry that I didn't upload a video the last couple of weeks. Unfortunately, I've been dealing with some emotional stuff, a loss in the family, and I'm doing better now, but because of that I just decided to take a break. I decided to start my mini Easter break from work with book tag. So I'm going to do the book acquiring tag. Yes, the book acquiring tag. I was not tagged. That's not new, right? But I like the questions and I'll have them down below if you decide to film your own video. I would love to know your answers to these questions. So let's just get started. I have the questions here on my phone. So question number 1, do you plan your book purchases ahead or impulse buy? I usually impulse buy, honestly. I go to this secondhand warehouse. I've talked about it before on my channel and on Bookstagram, and I find a lot of really cool vintage books there, and there's just, books that I don't have that I'm interested in, and I just buy them. I rarely plan what I'm going to buy unless I want to take part in a reading challenge or something like that and I need the book, but I haven't done that in a while, so I don't think I plan that much. Question number 2, how do you decide what books to buy? Again, I don't. Unless I'm doing it for a challenge, I'll just buy whatever. There are lots of books that I have and interested in, but they're not a priority. So if I find them, I'll buy them. If I don't find them, that's okay, because I have others that I need to read. I don't put a lot of thought into it. If it is a translated book to Portuguese or English, I have some preferences in terms of translator or edition or publishing house, type of book, paperback, hardcover, stuff like that. But honestly, I usually just buy the ones that I want. I only care about the edition if it's something that might contribute to my experience reading it. If I know that I don't like this publishing house, I'm not going to buy a book published by this publishing house. I'll wait and I'll find a new edition. Question number 3, what is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in person, large versus small, physical, digital or audio, new versus used, etc. I used to shop online a lot. A few years ago, I used to shop on Book Depository a lot, but they just take a long time. They say like 3 to 5 business days, and then it takes 2 weeks. It's not like that's a problem, but I haven't had the need to shop online as much now because, first of all, I have the e-reader, so I can read a lot of new books or books by authors that are new to me there, and I don't need to buy the physical copy because it's so much more expensive, and usually I can get some for free, so that's good. And in terms of buying physical books, I've just been browsing thrift stores, warehouses and stuff, and I've been lucky enough to find a lot of books that I really want. So other books that I want, I can wait because I have others. So nowadays I shop in person. Now, large versus small, it really depends. If I'm buying secondhand books, I usually go to thrift stores and warehouses. Sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small, but they don't have a lot of selection. That's the point. If I'm buying new books, then I have to go to a large bookstore. We have this shop in the mall called Fnac, and they have a huge selection of books, but also board games, kids stuff, electronic, computer stuff like that, music. If I want a book, like a new book, I'll go there. Most likely, but nowadays it's been hard to find the ones that I want for some reason. There's also this other store it's a department store called El Corte Inglés. They have a floor for books, and sometimes when I get like gift cards, I go there and I spend the money on books. I usually buy physical books but I do have the e-reader. And new versus used, I've already talked about it. I'm sorry that I sound weird. I think I have a cold. I think. Number 4, what about little free libraries? What do you think about them? Have you used one? Why or why not? I haven't. There's a very simple explanation for that. We don't have little free libraries here in Portugal that I know of. And I don't think it would be a good idea. I just know that if I had one, like close to where I live, it would be like full of graffitis and trashed, because that's the type of society that we have, unfortunately. So I don't think that, I think that in the beginning, authorities would be very cautious and try to, try to check it out every now and then. But then after a while, they would just forget about it because they would have something else to focus on, and no one would take care of it. It would be trashed. Honestly, I don't think it's a good idea. I like watching people go to little free libraries in vlogs. I think it's wonderful. It's a great way for you to get rid of some books that you don't like and get some books that you want. I think it's a wonderful idea. I just don't think that here in Portugal that would work, honestly. Number 5, how do you feel after acquiring a book? Do you share like in a book haul or diary? I usually do. I don't film monthly book hauls that often. I've done that before, that's true. During quarantine, I think that I got a lot of books and I was filming a lot of book hauls. I haven't filmed one in a while since I think that was my last video before I stopped filming for 6 months. I have some books. I usually just get a lot of them together and then I film this huge book haul. But in fact, I got those books like over the course of like 6 or 7 or 8 months. And I don't even have an order for them. I just know that I haven't shown you the books. And sometimes I also post photos on Bookstagram. So yeah, I like sharing when I get a new book. I think it's always good for us to share what we're doing and recommend books to each other. Number 6, how do you feel looking at your books that haven't been read? Does it matter if it's currently a lot or a little amount? It doesn't matter. I honestly don't understand why people are so obsessed with their TBR piles. To use the lingo, I just feel like it's stupid. I don't understand what's the problem. I have a lot of books that I haven't read. I haven't had the chance to get to them. I also like to think of myself as a book collector, so it doesn't bother me because I'm also collecting books. But I do want to read them. I want to get to them, and I think I will eventually, because God willing, I'll be here for many, many years. So I really don't understand why people are so obsessed with it. One of my least favorite types of videos, and this is not me like trashing anyone, I subscribe to a lot of people that sometimes film videos like this, and I still subscribe to them. Like, it's not a huge issue. It's not one of my favorite videos. Is when people try to, like, I'm going to vlog an entire week in which I jump through hoops to reduce my TBR pile. Now, a couple of years ago, I took part in the TBR Clear Out Readathon hosted by Katie from Books and Things. It wasn't so much as try to reduce your TBR, it was more about getting to the books that have been on your shelf for a long time and somehow you never get to them because reading challenges, readathons, stuff like that happens. So I don't feel like that's the same thing, but sometimes people, like, they are so obsessed. They have like these sort of little games, and I need to read, I don't know, 10 books in a week so I feel good about myself because this is bothering so much. This is the problem, I think, with BookTube, Bookstagram. Some part of the book community is that we turn this into a competition. I just really dislike when I get, like, when I see a story on Instagram, someone says, I can't believe we're in the middle of, I don't know what month, and I've only read 2 books. And I'm like, that's cool. Like, I wish that I could read 2 books in a month, because sometimes I can't even finish one. So on the one hand, it's really bad because it just makes us slow readers and people that don't have a whole lot of time to just sit and read feel really bad about what we're doing and like we're not worthy. And at the same time, it just perpetuates this idea that, yeah, this is just a competition at the end of the day. You're a good reader if you've read like 15 books in a month. Otherwise, you're not. And yeah, because of that, I think because people are so obsessed with their TBR piles and reading, I don't know how many books a month, I think this whole idea is very toxic. But then again, like, I'm not talking about anyone in particular. I know that a lot of people like watching those type of videos, and there should be videos for everybody in the book community. But personally, it's one of the things that it just bothers me a little bit. And I struggle with it in the beginning when I started BookTube. I really struggled with it. And for example, I couldn't call a readathon a success unless I was able to finish every single book by that specific day. Which honestly, now I look at it and I say, well, that's just stupid, because it's still a success. Even if I didn't finish 7 books, but I finished 4, that's still good. And, you know, I don't need to have that pressure on me. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but yeah, I just feel like we should just change the narrative and move on. Number 7, how do you decide what number of unread books is the right amount? I don't even know how many unread books I own. I don't care. Number 8, do you have a TBR game or process for reading them? No, I'm a mood reader through and through. Right now, I'm trying really hard to finish all the books that I started in 2021 and never finished because of my master's. I talked about this on my last vlog. Because of work and studying at the same time, full-time job and full-time student, it was just horrible. I couldn't finish a lot of the books that I started. It just put me in this horrible reading slump. So I am trying really hard to finish all the books that I have. And this has been going on not just since 2021, it's been going on since 2020. So 2 years of feeling like a really bad reader, a really bad booktuber, a really bad bookstagrammer because it takes me so long to finish books. But you know, such is life. And I am trying to do this just because I also feel better knowing that I can still remember the story. So it's the right time for me to finish certain books. If it's been too long and I need to reread it, then I can just leave it for some other time. But if I still remember the story, I still remember where I left off, I think it's the perfect time for me to grab that book and read it. It doesn't mean that I always want to read it. A few weeks ago, I didn't feel like reading or picking up a book that I had that I actually finished today, Dracul. I could have finished it like 2 weeks ago or something, but I just decided to finish some other one because I was in the mood for it and I wasn't in the mood for Dracul. So I'm still very much a mood reader. I don't have a TBR game. Sometimes I try participating, taking part in reading challenges. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes I can do it. Sometimes I change my mind, put the book down and go find another one. Question number 9. Do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it and can it be adjusted? I don't think I have a problem. Honestly, sometimes I feel bad because I'm like, oh, I'm spending money on books. Maybe I should spend money on something else. Or maybe I just shouldn't spend money. But then again, I think, you know, I work, I pay my bills, I pay my rent, you know, we have food. Why can't I buy 2 books? And like I said, I've been buying a lot more secondhand books than new books. So I don't feel as bad because I've been saving a lot of money. But I wouldn't say that I have a book buying problem. Like, I can go to a bookshop and not buy a book. That's perfectly fine. Like, I don't buy a book every time I go to a bookshop. It's not that dramatic. I think that sometimes, again, the book community turns it sort of like a cartoon, like very cartoonesque. Oh my god, she's just so obsessed with books. She goes to a bookshop, she leaves the bookshop in like 5 books in a bag. No, that doesn't happen that often. I can totally control myself. Number 10, tag 2 or 3 others to ponder their book buying process. You're tagged. Number 11, know you are awesome just as you are. Being a book lover is amazing. I really like this prompt. Yeah, I think that the book community has changed a lot in the last couple of years. I feel like a lot of people now are talking about how monthly book hauls were just insane, like people buying new books every single month, spending hundreds of dollars or euros or pounds or whatever the currency is, and a lot of the new booktubers feeling the pressure to be exactly the same. I think that has changed because the dialogue has been open, but there are still so many people that are just so obsessed and dramatic over how many books they've read at the end of the year or at the end of the month, and I'm like, can we just stop this? Can we just read for the pleasure? I feel like there are so many people that read books just rushing through the story. It's no surprise that in a few months you're going to talk about the book in a video and you're going to tell me that you don't remember what the book was about. I'm not surprised because you read it just to check a box on your list, and I think that's the problem. You know, reading is supposed to be a journey. It's supposed to take its time. Then again, I don't really want you to think that I'm targeting someone. I'm not trashing anyone. Honestly, I really think that a lot of people feel the same way. And it's good to see that some people are changing. A dialogue has been open, but we still have a long way to go. I think it would be way more inclusive if we just got rid of all this narrative. I think my camera stopped recording. So I was just saying thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you agree with me or not, or if you're going to film your own video, because I would love to watch that. And yeah, you know the drill. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Bye.